Keith, I love you.
Oh, okay.
It's the Game Impulse.
Yeah.
We're gonna review Halo 4.
Woo. Yeah.
Fuck. It's under the camera, so I can't show you the box, but you can just look it up. Halo 4 came out like November, something like that, on the 360. Only the 360. So if you have a 360, you're in luck. But if you have PlayStation 3, you're out of luck. You have to buy one.
Yep.
You can't play it.
Sucks.
Same if you have a Wii.
Sucks
Can't-
for
can't-
you.
Can't do it. But it's on the Xbox 360.
Yeah. So, okay, I guess I don't know. I'll start. So let's talk about the campaign. Initially, like Halo, they said that they were always planning Halo to be a trilogy, and and even after Halo 3 came out, I was sitting there, I was like, they're gonna make another game. They're going to. They want to make more money from the series, and so they made Reach, which was a prequel, and then they made this game, and I mean. After Reach and after the trilogy, I was kind of skeptical at first. Like, I was like, where could they go that they haven't gone before with the campaign? And then this was also, I heard that, Bungie wasn't making this game anymore. 343 Studios was making this game. And I was like, alright, maybe there's some hope. And then after it came out and I heard a bunch of people talking about it, I really wanted to get this game. But, the campaign takes place 4 years after Halo 3, and it looks really good graphic-wise. Like, the opening cinematic, at first, it looks like it's live action. And then, until you get, up close, and they start doing some of the other stuff. Because there's, the lady in charge of the Spartan program getting interviewed, and at first, and then when you get a close-up, then you're like, oh my god, that's computer graphic, that's computer animated. I'm like, wow, those are really good graphics. Graphic-wise, Halo, music-wise, Halo also has some of the best music in video games, I think. The Halo, the Halo theme, which, is kind of stuck in everybody's head from, all the other Halo games. It's the most perfect atmospherical music just to get into playing Halo. And then they introduced a lot of new weapons and whatnot in it. All these Promethean weapons and the Promethean enemies and all that. There's the scatter shot, which is a new shotgun. So all these new weapons, I think, added more life to the game. These new enemies made it more interesting because they fight differently than the grunts, which are and the Covenant, which are honestly kind of stupid at times. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this campaign. I thought it was short though. I've noticed that just the Halo series has gotten shorter and shorter campaigns. I think it's longer than Reach, but that was a short campaign.
Yeah, I think me and Keith and our one buddy beat it in 4.5 hours. That's a short ass campaign. Or
compared to
no,
Halo 1.
I think it was actually 4 hours because I played it for a half an hour. Well, before that, so that's why it says 4.5 hours for me. But yeah, about 4 hours. That's just very, very short. But there's so much in that 4 hours that just blows your mind. This is probably my favorite Halo campaign ever made. This might be my favorite Halo game ever made. That's really saying something. I think a lot of people were skeptical about the Return of Master Chief. Bungie isn't making it. This isn't going to be as good. But 343 Studios just said, fuck y'all, talk to the hand, and just made an amazing game. I like how they started with the background of the Spartans. I think it was really cool. You actually found out what Master Chief's real name is. John. I think John something.
It's been talked about and hinted at a lot of times before, but yeah, John.
Yeah, I think given that background on how the Spartans were created, I thought that was neat. It really added to it, and just the first mission's insane, especially when the whole ship's blowing up and you look up, and that Forerunner planet just opens up, and then you go flying through space and shit. The first mission is just it really is jaw dropping, and there's so many of those moments in here that are jaw-dropping. I believe one reason why everything is so jaw-dropping about this campaign is the graphics. they took the Halo 3 graphics and even the Halo 3 graphics and just upped everything about it. And they just have these beautiful, gorgeous landscapes. And to me, Halo has the best character modeling out of any franchise in gaming because they're so real. I mean, when they talk, they're dead on. When they move, it looks real. It's insane. And it's just so cool to look up in the sky and see another planet in the distance, or see a Covenant cruiser inbound and be like, wow, that looks insane. Or, the mission where you're kind of flying around, you have to go to the different, like, towers and stuff with the didact and all that. I mean, that's just fucking, what the fuck, man? I mean, that's just so cool. Overall, the campaign just is so intriguing. I mean, once you start it, you don't want to stop. Because the story is just, it's amazing. Yeah, it's not about destroying the Halo anymore. It's about destroying the Didact and all this stuff. Who wants to destroy Earth? But, I mean, it's just, it is really an amazing campaign. Or even when going to the last mission, I'm not going to spoil anything, but the landscapes in that are just amazing. I mean, it's just so many. And like he said, adding the new enemies was cool. Some of the Prometheans are just a bitch.
And the Knights are the worst.
And they really just get to you. And it kind of makes a better enemy than just fighting the Covenant all the time, or the Flood, or something like that. The new weapons are pretty cool. I love the Incineration Cannon. I love the Binary Rifle, Scatter Shot, Sticky Detonator. Adding a lot. I like how they have both the DMR and the Battle Rifle. They have the Assault Rifle. They have the old Halo 1 pistol. I mean, it's just really cool weapons. And like he said, the soundtrack to this game, no game can ever beat Halo when it comes to soundtrack. It's just epic. I love this campaign to death. Let's move on to multiplayer. Let's talk about Spartan Ops.
Spartan Ops. Yeah, Spartan Ops is cool. Like, again, when they announced, like, at first that they weren't going to do Firefight, and I was like, Firefight, especially that was like the selling point for Reach, was I played mostly just Firefight.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, and then they said, well, and then I read a description before I got the game, oh, it's basically Firefight, except you have objectives besides just survive, and I'm like, and it's really cool. It's like it's basically little mini campaigns in a way. Like, they've released 5 episodes at a time. They have 5 episodes with 5 chapters each. Were all released when the game launched, and then they just released, I think literally like yesterday or the day before, released like 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So now there's 50.
Or they released 6.
They just 6?
Only 6.
Only 6. Okay, so they just only released 6, but then that's 5 new ones. So that's my, I gotta get to those then.
And they're free.
Yeah, so which is also really cool. So I mean, it's not like a DLC, which I know they've already done that, but and some of those missions are just hard. Like the one that we were playing the other day. It's like the 3rd one. And basically, if you want to survive, you have to get in the Mantis, which is this new, like, if you've ever watched, like, Alien, the forklift thing. It's kind of like that, except it has rockets and a machine gun. Mm-hmm. And I mean, like, if you want to put it into perspective, toward the end of that mission, they literally drop about 8 hunters down off of a drop pod. And I'm just like, whew, it's a good thing we have this. And I mean, just the missions. And then, like, during the mission, the entire time, kind of like Tyler was talking about a little bit with the campaign, you look in the back part of the map, and you just see the cruiser just coming in, and it's just like, oh, shit. Like some of the moments in Spartan Ops rival the campaign. It's just so addicting. Like, I just want to keep playing more and more of these. Yeah.
I completely agree with Keith. Spartan Ops is very cool. Co-op has always been one of the best things. Not only just playing the campaign in co-op, but playing these missions in co-op, or Firefight and Reach. It's just co-op is an amazing part of Halo, and these missions are just awesome. They're just quick little bursts, and they're just a lot of action, a lot of just insanity, and it's very fun. I mean, I'm not going to drag on because Keith pretty much said everything, but they're very, very fun, and they add something new than just multiplayer. Like, these are really cool. But
you can start with multiplayer.
Multiplayer, man, multiplayer is awesome in this game. The only beef I have with it is that it's kind of like They kind of took stuff from Call of Duty and just threw it on Halo. But they kind of put their own twist on it, which was cool. I like how you can customize your own character. That's pretty neat. You know, there's this experience system and all that jazz, which is pretty cool. It seems like all multiplayer games are adding an experience system now. And there's like challenges and all this stuff. Challenges, like weekly challenges, and then actual shit. What do they call them in the game?
Accommodations.
Accommodations. They're kind of like, if you play like Call of Duty or something, you have all these challenges. Accommodations are kind of like those. Some of them are kind of hard to get, which is cool. It makes it actually feel like you actually just did something that was worth it. It was hard to do, and it's, you know, a sense of achievement, kind of, but you don't get an achievement.
Yeah.
I feel that the multiplayer, some of the maps are awesome. I feel that the bigger maps are amazing. There's not one of the larger maps that I don't like. Some of the smaller maps are very cool. Like I like Abandoned. Complex is cool, although everybody seems to want to play there all the time. I forget the one that I really don't like, but I don't like though how they chose how you can pick from 3 maps. Yeah, giving people more of a choice, that's cool. But you end up playing the same maps over and over and over and over again. And you might play 2 maps for like 6 or 7 matches straight. And don't get me wrong, they're good maps. But sometimes spicing it up is fun, and it gets more fun when you spice it up. I feel that the multiplayer though is a lot more balanced this time around. You're not stuck with people that will just kick your ass all the time. You have a couple people that might kick ass, some that don't, but it's cool. And yeah, you know, you can actually do stuff in here. Unlike in Call of Duty, if you're not the best at Call of Duty, you might not have that much fun until you get more experience or something. In this, you can have a lot of fun. Because this game, no matter what, is more team-oriented. You have Call of Duty that's more individual, kind of. Yeah, you're on teams, but it's more individual. I want to get this challenge. I want to get 150 kills with this weapon. And here, you want to win, and you kind of are forced to work together. You know, you can get vehicles, and me and Keith get Warthogs, and we just fuck everybody up all the time. And you know, there's that. Or you can be a foot soldier, kind of, and you're helping the team out. I mean, I love the multiplayer in this. It's very, very, very fun.
All right. So like again, another little anecdote was, you know, before the game came out, I was in there actually. I was pre-ordering. I was in GameStop and I was pre-ordering Black Ops 2 and Assassin's Creed 3. So I was like, all right, these are 2 games that I definitely have to get. And they were talking. They said, you plan on getting Halo 4? And I said, maybe. And then they were talking about, yeah, 343 Studios is making it. Oh, they got a couple of the guys who worked on some of the past Call of Duties who are working there. I'm like, okay, I know where this is going. And Tyler alluded to this. There's some Call of Duty-esque aspects. There's, you know, there's create a class system.
Yeah, create a class. Forgot about that.
Which is like, in which, you know, that's how they kind of had it it was in Reach a little bit. Where you could set up a class where, okay, you get this armor ability, and now you can run around with this. But now it's like, you could pick, like, between, like, 3 pistols and, like, your 3 main weapons, and then, or 4 or 5, or whatever the number is, and then all kinds of shit. And there's kill streaks, ordnance drops, which I think is a nice thing. And I also like how it's not really, it's accumulative. So if you just get a lot of kills, or just score a lot of points, boom, you can drop something, and then you get one of 3 choices, and that's cool. So, like, and Tyler talked a lot about what the multiplayer is, but, like, again, with the ordnance system, because, which is only in the Infinity Slayer and Big Team Infinity Slayer, which is what that is. You get, you know, ordnance drops, that's how they handle power weapons, which I kind of like, because it was just, like, I mean, there's still some, like, instances of power weapons where, like, every once in a while, like, if you're playing Ragnarok, for example, every, you know, 2 minutes or so, a sniper rifle will spawn in the base, because, you know, Ragnarok is basically Valhalla, just with a different name. So, you know, with a sniper rifle would always spawn. It would spawn it would do that, but then, like, you can just call in ordnance, and you can get, like, basically any gun. And I really liked what, but one of the things was, I thought, especially with Reach, I thought they were getting too comfortable sometimes with some of the guns. With, like, I feel like there was, even though, yeah, they got rid of the battle rifle and they had the DMR, and there was, like, the grenade launcher one, but, like, they kind of, they were getting too comfortable with the same weapons. And so I feel like all the Promethean weapons, or the Forerunner weapons, are really good additions to this game because it mixes it up a little bit. The only thing is, and this is a personal thing, I really wish they would have kept the Brute Shot from Halo 3. That was my favorite weapon. That is my favorite all-time Halo weapon.
Yeah, it's
Just because, I mean, it's like a rocket launcher, but I mean, it's, you know, a little bit better. But, yeah, like Tyler said, I prefer the big maps. Like Exile is a great map. Exile is probably the one that everybody plays the most. It's everybody's favorite map, and it's a really good map.
Longbow.
Longbow is another great one. As I said, Ragnarok. Ragnarok is Valhalla, which they have mantises, manti. I don't know what the plural is. Oh god. But I mean, yeah, just multiplayer works. I mean, I think just personally, I was always just a little bit better at Call of Duty than Halo. So I mean, I prefer Call of Duty. But this is like the first Halo that I'm actually doing decently good. Like I started to get good at Halo 3 toward the end of it, but then I just could never get into playing Halo 3 for long periods of time. And Halo Reach, I don't know, it just didn't click with me. The multiplayer just didn't really click with me with Halo Reach. And this multiplayer, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
And then I also like, well, I don't think it's here, but I mean, it's actually a nice segue how, I don't know if they do it anymore, but for a while, if you're like me and you drink a lot of Mountain Dew, you look underneath your cap and had double XP, so you'd get like 3 matches of double XP. So I was like, that's cool. And so I just think it was 343 took Bungie's mold for multiplayer and took it beyond what it's been and has made one of the best Halo games I've seen. Probably the best attempt at a Halo game, I think, since Halo 2.
Yeah. Like Halo 2's multiplayer, kind of the first of its kind like that. It was really cool. Halo 3 stepped up even more. Halo Reach,
It
got a
up,
little stale.
but it was just like
Halo 4, it's amazing. I one thing, getting back to the balance thing, Keith said how ordinances kind of control everything, like the big weapons, the powerful weapons that you'll just wreck with. That creates a balance because if you don't have that, yeah, you can do really good, but you might have somebody on your team that might get 25 kills and die 8 times or something, but that person is not going to control this entire game. Unlike Call of Duty, where if you had a person going 25 and 8, it would just control the whole game through the kill streaks and all that stuff. It's just kind of, I like how you can have somebody that can just wreck on your team, but it's not going to control the whole game. That person might lose the game. And if you work more as a team, you'll win. I love this game.
Yeah, this is kind of with the whole kill streak thing. It's also, interesting because, there's a lot more danger with Call of Duty kill streaks. I mean, the only danger with Call of Duty kill streaks is if you use a care package and somebody might take that. Or somebody hacks a kill streak. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
But this game, like, it's all, except for, like, the speed boost and the damage boost and the overshields and whatnot, and, like, some grenades, it's all guns.
Yeah.
And, and if you die, it's not like that goes away with you. It's still there. So if you die, you just handed the other team a very powerful weapon. Like, especially if it's like the incineration cannon, which if you run into a guy that has that, you might as well just you put your controller down and patiently wait for him to shoot you.
Yeah.
There's no point at that point. So yeah, you gonna give ratings for this or?
I give this a 9.5 out of 10. This is my game of the year in 2012. I thought it was going to be Assassin's Creed 3, but this is my favorite game of 2012. Kind of surprised me, but 9.5 out of 10 for me.
I give it a 9 out of 10. I mean, like I said, I still am better, and I kind of probably enjoy Call of Duty a little bit more. And honestly, I love the Assassin's Creed, so Assassin's Creed is probably my game of the year. But this was a very strong game. This is easily second or third place in my book. So 9 out of 10.
Pick this game up, yo.
It's amazing.